Hello everyone. So today I decided to make a video on the S650. As everybody knows, there's a lot of videos, a lot of cars out on the road that, test mules that you've seen out there. And also some people like Stang Mode and some other YouTubers have brought out some information on the new S650. But I wanted to make this video to share some little pointers. As everybody knows, Ford does not release too much information pre-release of the vehicle. They actually wait till closer to the actual release date, if not the release date. I'm sorry, the release order date. So it's very difficult to decide what type of variant do you like on a vehicle if you do not have the information, or you just kind of have to wait. So some of the pointers that I'm going to do, well, before I go to those pointers, there's several things I want to discuss. Number one is, it looks like there is going to be an EcoBoost model, a base GT model, and so far only the Dark Horse has been announced as the higher end of the vehicle. So I imagine there's a performance pack, as we're going to see here in this video, or some type of elevated handling package type Mustang. So first and foremost, on the picture that you can see here, we can see a couple of things. Obviously, the vehicle is redesigned. The wheels are a little bit different, as you can see. Here, they are a little bit different wheels. But interesting that one of the things I noticed that I'd like to point out is the exhaust tips. If we can see here on both sides, it is dual exhaust. That's something we haven't seen since pre-2018. So as everybody knows, the 2018 had dual exhaust, or I'm sorry, quad tips instead of the dual tips. So another interesting thing is the spoiler looks just a tad bit different than what you see on the S650. I'm sorry, S550. So those are some of the key little things that I've noticed. Obviously, you could probably nitpick it and see other things that are different, but definitely it's interesting that you can see that it's dual tips instead of the quad tips. I imagine that it's going to be an upgrade to get the quad tips, because as you can see on this next picture, in this picture you see a GT model that seems to be like a handling package or performance package. I don't know what they're going to name it. But if you can see here on this car, the car has quad exhaust. So the tips are different than the other Mustang we just saw. Additionally, you can see that the wheels are different, obviously, and the wing is different. It looks more like a performance pack 1 type wing. Obviously on this picture you cannot really tell, but if this is actually color matched on the side skirts, but it does look a little bit different. Obviously the diffuser is different. And interesting though, this does look like an upgraded model. But if we look on the next picture, if you see on this picture, you can actually see that this vehicle has the same wheels as the previous picture. It has the same spoiler as the previous picture, but yet here you have a single tip instead of the dual, which is quad tip, as some people refer to it as. So it's very interesting, because that kind of tells me that possibly this Mustang is going to be in a different variants and different packages. That you can upgrade some of those features, like the tips, the spoiler, and obviously the wheels. In the same picture, you can actually see the Dark Horse right next to the GT that I just pointed out. So they both have the similar wings, as you can see here, the spoilers. They both have well, you can't see the wheels on this picture on the Dark Horse. But interesting again, if you see the tips, the Dark Horse comes with quad tips, as you can see here. And the GT, I'm not sure if that's a performance pack or handling pack, or what type of GT. But if you compare both of these vehicles, it looks like they're pretty similar from the rear, yet different. One of the things that the Dark Horse is known, it's upgraded because it has, you know, Brembo brakes. It comes with probably a different suspension. But if you can see on the next video, it's very interesting because you can get Brembo brakes on the front and the back on this GT, or at least, I'm not sure if you can get them, but at least this vehicle looks like it's equipped with them. If we look at this GT picture, you can see here that it looks like it has Brembo brakes, both on the front and the back. And this GT here has the quad tips, so dual tips on each side. So it's very interesting because Ford seems to give, or it seems like they're going to give people the option to decide and choose, you know, different things they want to put to the vehicle, or put on the vehicle, I'm sorry. That's why it's one of those things where if Ford gave us more information, we could start thinking of what options we'd like or love to have on our vehicle. Yeah, they've announced some information, some data, but not enough to where it answers questions such as this. Can you get these brakes on the front, the Brembo brakes on the front, back? Is it just painted calipers? You know, what is it? This very looks much like Brembo brakes in front and back. But then you have the exhaust tip. Is it different exhaust? Is it the active exhaust that changes the tips? I don't know, some interesting things that are interesting questions that, you know, Ford has not answered yet, or at least I have not come across them. So if we go to the Dark Horse handling package, if you can see here, you can see that it's different wheels. You can see it has different brakes, or Brembo brakes on the rear. It has a different spoiler, which has gurney flaps here and here. It's different spoiler than the other Dark Horse we just saw, and again the quad tips. Additionally, what I do know is that on the Dark Horse handling package, there's going to be an option for carbon fiber wheels. I've actually personally reached out to the company who makes the carbon fiber wheels, and they said they cannot release the information until Ford releases the actual picture and the information on the wheels. So obviously they are, you know, respecting that. So again, these vehicles, you know, that Ford's releasing, I wish they gave us more information, but as of now, they're kind of keeping mum other than the release and what they announced on the release. Now, there's some rumors that, you know, a handling package, Dark Horse in Australia sold for the equivalent to about $65,000 US. So I don't know if that's even possible to order the vehicle there. What I do know is that there's just rumors and such of that sort. Now, I will say that I really love the Dark Horse. It's a vehicle that I am going to put an order for. Hopefully, I don't get into the same situation where the allocations, you know, kind of go back and forth. I don't want a late model release, so if I cannot get my hands on a handling package Dark Horse, I am going to purchase a regular Dark Horse first and bring you guys some content on, you know, how it runs, what it does, you know, how it feels, and then I will be upgrading to the handling package as soon as it gets released. I am not getting rid of my GT500. I'm keeping that car. If the GT500 and this S650 is released, I am actually going to purchase a GT500 in that model. But, you know, I'm probably going to skip the GT unless it takes long to get a Dark Horse. I will then add a GT. But for the moment, I really don't expect to purchase a GT at this moment. The spec that I'm going to be looking at on the Dark Horse is I am going to get it in the blue amber metallic color. It's a very awesome looking color. I am going to put the handling package. I'm going to put the carbon fiber wheels on the handling package. It's one of the other things I do want to mention that I forgot to mention is that the Dark Horse comes with the Tremec instead of the regular MT82, and you know, so I'm going to definitely spec it out. Probably the full spec on what you can get on the vehicle. So with that said, if I do get a base model, obviously I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to get the carbon fiber wheels in that car, and I'm not going to sit around and wait. I am going to want to get my hands on one and just kind of see how it looks, how it runs, and how it operates. Obviously, I don't know how soon I'll be able to get one, but definitely is one of the things that I do want to get my hands on, and one of the vehicles I'm going to get my hands on. So I will be releasing more information as I find on the vehicle, little small things that I can tell or that I can find on these vehicles, and then we'll go from there. So until next time, see you guys later.